Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
Pettersson to center. He is 1-on-2. Takes Brody wide. Elias Pettersson still with it. All the way around the net. Throws it back across. Shot. Scores! Big setup by Pettersson. And the finish by Besser. And we're all tied up.
It is time for the Debate Hockey Podcast, episode number 52. It is February 11th, 2019. I am the host, Brad Brood, joined alongside my co-host each and every week, Blake Friars. Damn, it's cold, Blake.
Yeah, it's very cold. Had to shovel my car up this morning.
We're going to bitch to start the show.
Yeah.
We've been dealing with sub-zero temperatures.
It's been freezing
I just saw the stat. 520 straight hours of below zero Fahrenheit temperatures. Is what we've been doing.
And last Wednesday, Minot was the coldest place in North America. It was minus 66 Fahrenheit.
No, it wasn't.
With the wind chill?
With the wind chill,
yeah,
yes.
that's what I mean.
It was minus 44 regular temperature.
Yeah, it was cold.
That's cold.
Yeah.
And we've been dealing with snow after snow. We probably picked up another 5-6 inches here this afternoon, and
it snowed all day.
Still snowing outside. So as soon as I am done with this, I will be shoveling for the fourth time today. And I don't know, it's getting old, man. It's getting old. The temps.
But you know, with the weather, like at the start of winter, we didn't get any snow.
No, we had a good start.
We got a good start. I'm like, oh, maybe it's gonna be a slow winter, you know. And then, boom, we got hit with
the last
cold weather, lots of snow.
2.5 weeks, we're getting our asses handed to us. A lot like the Anaheim Ducks and the Colorado Avalanche.
Man, I don't know what's going on.
Trade talks heating up, don't you think?
Yeah, very much so.
I think it's, you know, when I say this, every time I record one of these, I think, man, I hope something doesn't drop before we get this thing out there. And if it does, there's nothing I can do about that. But we'll record them as we can.
Yep.
Trade talks heating up. Trade deadline exactly 2 weeks from today. We will be doing a show the night before trade deadline, and we'll do a show the night of trade deadline.
What day is that?
It's a Monday.
So Monday, Tuesday special?
Nope, Sunday, Monday.
Or Sunday, Monday, yeah.
Tuesday, yep.
Yeah.
But tonight, our show tonight, we're going to be selfish people tonight. And tonight's show is about us. It's about us. We're going to be selfish, and we're going to talk about our favorite teams. Yes, we are fans too. We try to talk about every team. You know, I was thinking about it. There's a couple teams we never talk about. We never, ever talk about anything New Jersey Devils, ever.
Why would we?
I know, but there's just a few teams.
They're not very good.
It's funny, though.
They're never in the news.
I know.
And we're not going to talk about New Jersey until Corey Schneider wins a hockey game.
No.
Then we'll talk.
It's one of those things, you know, it's just the way it is. But tonight we're going to talk about our favorite teams, talk a little bit about why they're our favorite teams, and just kind of relive some memories of those favorite teams. What are they looking for in the future? Then we're going to talk about our favorite parts of the National Hockey League season. What days of the season do we mark on the calendar as our favorites? And then we're going to cruise around the league, and we're going to talk Matthews' contract, Panarin, Red Hot Flyers, Falling Avalanche, Carlisle's job is gone. When I wrote the script for this, I actually wrote Carlisle's job in jeopardy, and meaning that I knew it was going to happen, and it did happen. So, and then we want to talk about who wants Kovalchuk. Does anybody want Kovalchuk?
I don't think so. I wouldn't.
CoolHockey.com, they are our sponsor. When you go find the jersey on that webpage that you like, you got to type inside 20 in at checkout, get yourself 20% off. Blake, I know you don't have jersey of the week this week. I have one. I have a good one. Oh, wow.
I do. I got one.
Everybody, Blake is prepared tonight.
Vladdy Tarasenko. He got a hat trick last night. St. Louis.
You look like the slowest.
St. Louis is really pissing me off because they won't stop winning hockey games. But now I'm not worried about St. Louis because
you know they're in.
I know St. Louis is in, and I'm just wishing that Minnesota keeps losing.
Everybody needs to run the tape back. I believe it was episode 47. Blake told us that the Blues were garbage.
So did everybody else, man.
They had no
they
prayer.
rattle off 7 in a row.
I don't believe if you run the tape back. I said that.
Listen. listen.
So
I picked them to finish second in the Central. Go back and listen to that.
okay, well, maybe you should listen to yourself.
But now they're playing like the team they should have been all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's been an unexpected Jordan Binnington rattling off
Jake Allen
6 in a row.
stopped 40+ last night in the win.
But the 6 in a row, 6 previous was Jordan Binnington.
I know. Number 1 star of the week.
Yeah,
too.
he lets in 4 goals and they still win. Like,
They've
talk
been
about
good,
getting
though.
bailed out
They've
by
been
your
good.
team.
They've been good. He stopped 40+ shots. They've been good.
Still letting.
They've been good. You want to hear my jersey of the week, or you want to keep talking about the Blues?
All right.
Shea Weber, Montreal Canadiens defenseman, back.
Yep.
This guy gets ripped on. Used to get ripped on in Montreal.
You ripped him.
I know.
Episode, I think it was in the.
I've always been a Shea Weber fan. What are you talking about?
But you told me that he was taking steps back.
No, I said he's injured.
Yeah, but
I didn't. I thought when Montreal got rid of PK for Weber, I thought this is awesome for the Habs.
yeah,
Big time awesome. I like him.
age difference though. That's the only thing bad about Shea Weber right now. Age and injury prone. But other than that, he's been great.
And
Ever
he's
since he's come back,
pain in the ass.
Montreal's
in the
been
locker room. They've been good.
Shea
Weber, get a jersey from Shea Weber.
Price.
Go on coolhockey.com. They are our sponsor, and we thank them for their sponsorship.
Coolhockey.com. Jerseys online since '99.
Blake, it's about me and you now.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about our favorite teams.
sure.
We try to talk about every team. We try to be non-biased. Blake's not very good at it.
Whatever.
But we try to, this show on a normal show, not today. Today we're going to be selfish. We try to talk about a little bit of everything, and we will at the end. Don't worry. But right now we're going to talk our favorite teams. And Blake, your favorite team is the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
And my favorite team is the Calgary Flames. And that is pure coincidence that we have favorite teams in the same division. Mm-hmm. Blake and I have known each other for 2 years now. Mm-hmm. So back when we picked our teams, we did not know each other. Blake wasn't even alive when I picked my favorite teams. So, all right. Let's talk Vancouver Canucks. And I will ask you a few questions about your Canucks.
Sure.
And then we'll kind of take a stroll down memory lane. We won't stop at any strip clubs. We'll just stroll down memory lane, and then we will we'll talk a little bit about your Canucks now,
Sure.
and then we'll move into the Calgary Flames. But why are you a Canucks fan?
Why am I a Canucks fan? Well, my dad tried to brainwash
Okay,
me.
where did it start?
Where did it start? Well, my dad's a Habs fan, and
Which is sad.
my dad's dad, which my grandpa, he's a Colorado Avalanche fan.
So he was a Quebec Nordiques fan.
No.
What?
No.
So you're okay.
Well, I'll have to ask him about that.
You need to find this out.
I will.
Because
I will.
I would really
He
highly
probably would
doubt.
be a Quebec fan.
I'd highly doubt.
He lived in Calgary though, so
Yeah, so why would he be a Colorado Avalanche fan?
see, I don't know. I'd have to
It had
find
to have
that
been
out.
because of like Sakic and the.
He's a big Joe Sakic
You know what I
fan.
mean?
He's
but
a
it
big
had
Joe
to have been
Sakic fan.
I bet it's Quebec, but boy, that's odd for a Western Canadian man to
Yeah.
like a.
He likes Burnaby Joe though. But anyway, so my dad tried to get me a Montreal fan. My grandpa tried to make me be a Colorado fan, and my uncle Chris, he's a Canucks fan. So, he babysat me as a kid.
Brainwash you.
Changed my diapers and all that good stuff, and I sat on the couch and watched Vancouver Canucks games with him, and the Sedins were there. The Sedins just started their careers there in 2000, and I was a big fan of the West Coast Express with Naslin, Bertuzzi, Morrison, and when I started to really get a passion for the Canucks is in 2006, 2007 when Luongo got traded there, and I'm a goalie myself, and he's a big reason. He's still my favorite player to this day, and ever since that Luongo trade, and the rest is history.
So, what's your greatest memory of the Canucks then? You know what? And I'm even going to throw out my greatest Canucks memory.
Sure.
After you're done.
Sure.
My memory is up from a little bit further back than
Pavel Bure?
yours. Just go first.
All right. Mine is Game 5, and then the third round in 2011.
After they pull the goalie, win the face-off, move it back to the point. Edler across, Henrik to the net. And Niemi looks behind him. 2-2. Yeah! Ryan Kessler on a forehand tip out of midair. Dragged it back by Niemi. And the Canucks may yet move on tonight.
The Canucks are up 3-1 in the series to the San Jose Sharks, and they're down by a goal with 15 seconds left. And Henrik Sedin picked the puck off the wall and threw it at the net. Kessler tipped it in. Place went nuts. Played 2 overtimes. Edler shoots a puck off the stanchion. Bieksa was the only one that knew where the puck was. Put it in the net, and the Canucks are off to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 1994. And I just get goosebumps just talking about this right now. But yeah, what a fun year that was. That whole year was just something special. We won the President's Trophy that year, and yeah, man, just fell one game short.
My greatest Canucks memory. One thing that really stood out, and this is coming from a Calgary Flames fan, but when Pavel scored that overtime winner,
Triple overtime,
yeah, that was something that it pissed me off. A Calgary loss, but I'll tell you what. But wow, what a goal! And
what a pass.
What's really hard though for me is like, if you asked me like straight up, my top 3 favorite players of all time, Pavel Bure would be one. Not number one. Would be one of my top 3, which is scary because I'm a Canucks hater. I'm a Flames fan. Like I can't like the Canucks, but I respected his play and how flashy and good he was to the point where he catapulted himself into my top 3 favorite players of all time, and that's pretty impressive. 2 other Canucks that I had a lot of respect for, and one was Trevor Linden. I thought Trevor Linden was a great pro athlete. And you know who's another one? And you probably don't know much about him, but I always thought Kirk McLean was a good goaltender.
Yep.
He was fun to watch.
That pad slide save?
Yeah, but his style was so like 80s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And in the 80s, the goalies threw their legs out, and it was fun. But I always had a lot of respect for him too. Now let's take this question to the next level. Sure. What was your greatest Canucks memory that you were in person?
Ooh. They didn't win the game, but in 20
Now, listeners, we get to go to a lot of NHL games, but we don't get to see Blake doesn't live in Vancouver. Blake's from Estevan, so he's not a season ticket holder that gets to go to all these games. So his amount of Canucks games is somewhat limited. There's been a lot, but it's somewhat limited. And same when I give my Calgary Flames stuff. I'm not a Calgary Flames season ticket holder, so I don't get to go to a lot of Flames games. But so our memories of in-person things are going to be a little bit different than obviously our memory of when we were there.
I got a story for this too. So in 2012, the start of my hockey season, my dad made me a bet, and he bet me that if I win the league championship, he'll take me to the Vancouver Canucks playoff game in Vancouver. Little bit know, we go 22-1. We win the league championship, and we had a date in Vancouver to watch them play the Kings in Game 5, and we had tickets to Game 6 to go to LA the next game, and Vancouver lost 2-1 in overtime. I've never seen such an electric building in my entire life. A Vancouver Canucks playoff game is unbelievable. And then when the goal goes in, you hear a pin drop. It's just unbelievable. Like it's crazy to think that it's been 7 years since my last Canucks game in Vancouver. But hopefully I get to go back.
You've seen the Canucks,
in
other arenas since then, but yeah. You got a good playoff one. My Flames one's not a playoff one, but playoffs take it to a new level.
Oh, yeah.
It really does. It really takes it to a new level.
Yep.
So what's your most frustrating time as a Canucks fan?
Frustrating time. that Game 5 loss
last year.
No, the last 4 years have been pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I mean,
but every team goes through rebuilds, and we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Obviously, that Game 5 loss stung, but I mean, it has to be Game 7.
What Game 5 lost?
Game 5, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the Game 5 I was at. But
that can't be your most frustrating time, though, because you were in the playoffs.
Game 7, Stanley Cup Final in 2011. It's just...
That couldn't be frustrating, though, Blake.
It is, man.
Well, it's disheartening to lose in the Stanley Cup Finals, but you're the second best
frustrating?
team in the league.
Okay, frustrating. 2008, 2009, the Canucks are in a playoff spot by 6 points, and they 8 points, and they lost their last 7 games in a row and missed the playoffs by 2 points. That
is frustrating.
Like, it was, oh man, it was so frustrating. Like, we traded a first round pick at the deadline that year. That was, that's frustrating.
So let's talk favorite players of the Canucks now.
Sure.
Who is your all-time favorite Canuck?
I mean, it has to be Roberto Luongo. I think that's my favorite guy, and I have a lot of respect for the Sedin twins just because of the hate they took, and they got punched in the face every shift, and they just kept going about their business. They were true professionals, and they often didn't clap back at you. They beat you on the ice. That's what they did, and
they did. They did.
I think they're great role models for the city and the fans, and they're those. I was a really big Ryan Kessler fan too. I mean, you can say you hate Kessler all you want, but I mean, when Kessler was scoring 40 goals for the Canucks in 2010, 2011, I mean, he was one of the best shutdown centers in the league. He won 2 Selkies, and I mean, he's a guy you love to have on your team, but hate to play against. He's always in your face, but he was a treat to watch all those years too.
Current. Who's your favorite current?
I gotta go with I'm a huge Bo Horvat fan. Well, you could either go Elias Pettersson or Bo Horvat. I have both their jerseys hanging on my wall at my apartment right now. But either one of those two. That's a good 1-2 punch for the Canucks down the future.
I'll actually give my favorites, and you can give your favorite Flames when I do my part. But
sure.
I mean, just as a hockey fan, I can name my favorites from every team.
Yeah.
Pavel Bure is my favorite all-time Canuck.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was before when you were watching, but my favorite current Canuck in this, I love Brock Besser.
Yeah.
I loved watching him play.
Minnesota boy, North Dakota.
Played for the University of North Dakota. I went to watch him numerous times while he played for the University of North Dakota. He was a class act during his time in Grand Forks. The community loves him for stuff he did on the ice, but they love him even more for the stuff he did off the ice. And that means a lot to me, and I really like Brock Besser. I watch him play now, and I think, man, would I love to have him on the Flames. He's the guy that's going to go to war for you.
Yep.
And his shot is top, one of the top in the league, and a good fun player to watch. So bright future ahead for the Canucks with Brock Besser. Current evaluation of your team.
Wow, this team just...
Don't get Leaf delusional on me
Seriously,
here.
this team has shocked the shit out of me this year. I mean, I predicted them to be a bottom 5 team, and Markstrom and Pettersson have burst onto the scene this year and really put the Canucks into playoff contention.
Let me stop you there. I
What's
got
up?
a question on that.
Sure.
Do you think Markstrom or Pettersson has played a larger role in where they're at right now? Because they are on the outside looking in. They're, a point back here as we record tonight?
They're two points.
2 points back of a
No.
1 point back of a wild card spot.
Tied with the Wild, 57 points.
2 more games played, though.
1 more game played than the Wild.
Okay.
2 more than St. Louis.
So they're close. They're right on that
they're
finish.
right there.
So who... And I didn't predict... I predicted them to finish last, I believe, in the Pacific. So I'm no one to talk here. They're surprising me. But who do you think has played a larger role, Markstrom or Pettersson?
If Pettersson didn't miss 11 games, I think the Canucks would even be further than where they are because they're... I want to say... I think they're 3-6... 6 without him, 3-7 without him, or something like that. But I think it's Markstrom. I mean,
I do too.
You look what he did against Calgary on Saturday.
Oh, he
night.
single-handedly won that game.
Single-handedly stole the game for us. I only got to watch half that game last night, but I mean, man, like they got outshot 20-5 in the second period, and somehow they're tied 3-3 going into the third, and it's like, boy, man. I mean, when we traded for Markstrom was a high pick, like 31st overall in the 2000s, and this guy, I'm like, last year he showed some promise. This year, I mean, with goaltender coach Rolly Melanson, he's really upped his game. I mean, he's a late bloomer for me. He's 29 years old. Finally, he's showing that.
Do you
peak.
think sometimes goaltending's age is irrelevant?
It is irrelevant
And
because you never know.
I was driving today, trudging through the snow, and I'm not trying to get off Canucks topic here. We'll get right back on quickly, but I want to go through this while it's fresh in my mind. And that was, we always say, well, we do it with defense a little bit. We're getting better with it, but we're living in a National Hockey League that's young.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we still under the I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, the thought, I guess, that a goaltender has to mature, and a goaltender needs to be 25.
I think that's dead now with the play of
Carter Hart is what got me thinking.
Carter Hart and the play of Jordan Bennington. They're both in their early 20s.
I mean, if
that's gone out the door.
If we're handing the keys to the team to a 20, 21, 22-year-old forward.
Well, look at Vasilevsky.
Well, that's what I'm. Well,
2 years ago he was a starter.
Yeah, but he had Ben Bishop. That 3 years ago it was Bishop, and then 2 years ago they worked Vasilevsky as equal time, and then Vasilevsky took over.
They didn't have Ben. They didn't have.
Yes, they did.
Ben Bishop's in his second year at the Stars this year.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, last year he was a starter there, but he wasn't super young though.
He was 22 last year.
Well,
as a starter.
But you know what I'm saying,
on
though?
A good team.
We're handing the keys to the car to 19-year-olds, and I'm not saying that's right.
That's completely
when
right.
When are we going to start handing the keys to the net to 21-year-olds? It's not that common. It's very uncommon, actually. And Carter Hart's kind of changed my thought in this, because I always thought, well, no, let him season a little bit. But if he's
ready,
great at 20, put him in the net, man.
Yep, see what you have.
So okay, we'll get back to the Canucks. But
sure,
your evaluation of your team,
I think they're getting in.
You think so?
I think so. I think they're going to take Minnesota's spot. I think St. Louis makes it. I think Dallas makes it.
I think St. Louis might get this third and Central, and
they could.
Dallas might get a wild card along with Vancouver, maybe.
Yeah, or Chicago.
I know. I wonder about. I look at Chicago probably more than I do Minnesota.
Yep.
I don't know. What else do you think? What else thoughts do you have on the Canucks?
I like where their future is going. Bo Horvat's having a breakout year. Brock Besser's finally starting to score.
But please tell me you're under the belief that they shouldn't do anything at deadline day.
No.
Just ride it out.
Ride it out.
Buffalo Sabres it out.
I think they made their move for Josh Levo to get
that.
A big body. They just called up Zach McEwen, who has been lighting it up in the AHL. He's 6'4", 220-pound forward. He's going to play Bo Horvat tonight.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Yep. I think they just ride the course out. Yep. Don't trade a draft pick away and salvage this rebuild. Because they're ahead.
The only way, they're 3 years ahead of schedule.
I know, two
2
years away.
Yeah.
Because when you say 3, then you start moving on to entry-level contracts and it starts scaring the hell out of me.
2 years.
So they're 2 years. I'm under the belief that an NHL team, to win a cup, you have to have a great core, and then you have to have
your core of
4 entry-level players that are playing out of their ass and winning that cup. But let's move on to Calgary Flames.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
The thing is,
we're going to put a warning. This is going to be a long show.
Brock Besser gets paid in the summer.
Well, we talked about this on the phone the other night. So what do you think he gets paid?
I don't know. I was going to say $7 million, but then you look at Nylander's contract, and Brock Besser's better than Nylander, so he has to get more. But I hope it's nothing like $9 million, because
Brock Besser's he's good old country boy, and he's going to sign for $8.
I think he's going to get $8 too.
How many years, though?
I'd sign him to a 6-year deal.
I think he'll
6 or 7.
he'll set the term.
Yeah. Hopefully we get him long term. Be good.
No, I'm a big 5-year guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk Calgary Flames.
Less term, more AAV?
No.
Is that how that works?
No, most of the time.
More term, less AAV.
No, well, sometimes.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it works out where the player will set the term in a lot of cases. The owner wants to leverage that term. It's changing a little bit.
Yep.
It's changing a little bit.
Yep.
The mindset amongst general managers, to me, is changing a little bit. We talking Calgary?
Sure.
Okay.
When did you become a fan? Or why are you a Calgary Flames fan? Let's go there first.
1986. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
It's a goofy-ass story, man.
How old were you? 86.
72, 82.
You'd been
14 years old.
14. So who did you cheer for? You didn't cheer for anybody?
You got to remember, I'm living in the United States in 1980. There's one game on TV a week.
Oh, really?
The New York Rangers, almost every game was on TV. So originally, I was a New York Rangers fan, and I watched Don Maloney and those guys, Brad Beck, and what was the guy with the... I like Bobby Clark for the Flyers, but what was the guy with the big curly hair that played for the Rangers in the early 80s? Greshner? Anyways, I got to see a lot of... the New York Rangers used to be on, I believe it was the USA Network. And so I got to watch all their games. But I really didn't... I played hockey. I was a kid. I played hockey. And living in the States, we didn't... Unless you lived in a local market, like, you didn't get NHL games, man. You got like one game a week.
Yeah.
There was no ESPN back then. There was freaking nothing. So my hockey fall into the NHL was looking in the newspaper and reading the box scores. And in 1986, I remember we were at a Home of Economy store, which was one of 2 hockey retail stores where I grew up. I was there getting skate sharpened or stick or something. I don't know, because I was playing at the time. I said to my dad, I said, "Hey, Dad, can I get a hockey jersey?" And he kind of hummed around.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hummed around a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, get one. You got to get it off this rack." Of course, it was a
on sale.
freaking clearance rack, man.
Yeah.
Dad had it figured out.
Yeah.
Same thing I would say to my kid now, who's pretty much the same age as I was.
Yeah.
In 86 when I picked this. But I remember the clearance rack, and this is eerie that I remember the teams that I had to choose from. So I was obviously an NHL fan because I knew the teams. I got to choose from the Quebec Nordiques, the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, pray to God. Thank God you didn't pick them.
There was maybe 1 or 2 Canucks jerseys, but I don't believe they fit me because I'm sadly would admit maybe I would have taken the old orange and black skate logo because I thought that was kick-ass. Don't believe that fit me, though. There was a Colorado Rockies jerseys on there. And there was New Jersey Devils, the old red and green.
Oh, yeah.
And then a white Calgary Flames. And they had every size in the white Calgary Flames. And I thought, ugh. And I grabbed that jersey. I still have it to this day. That just started it. And then they went on and lost in the Cup Finals that year to Montreal. So after that success in 86, it just kind of grew from there. And of course, in 89, they win the Stanley Cup with Lanny McDonald. And that's when I kind of really fell in love with them because we got to watch the Stanley Cup Finals in the States. And so I remember seeing that, and I remember it was just kind of, I'm not going to say I was like a diehard the day I got the jersey, but that win in 89 changed it forever then. And I remember getting 2 new jerseys right away after that because I was growing out of the one I got when I was 12 or 14, excuse me. That's kind of an odd story on how you get a favorite team, but that's the honest truth on that one, Blake.
Yeah, for sure. So What's your favorite moment as a Flames fan?
Greatest memory.
Yeah. Besides the 89 Cup.
I'll do greatest memory, and then I'll do in person. You know what? It isn't. The 89 Cup wasn't my greatest memory as a Flames fan.
Really?
Because I was in high school. You gotta remember. No, I was out of high school. I was in college. Like I was a hockey fan, but I wasn't like a, over the top diehard like I am now.
Yeah.
But 2004.
Ooh, okay.
I tore my rotator cuff in my shoulder jumping off the couch when we beat San Jose in Game 6. Fell to the floor in pain. But damn, that was fun. Every day during
should have won.
The 04. Well, yeah, we don't want to get into
the
that.
Detroit zone. It goes around the end boards with a minute to go in the first overtime period. The puck's in the left corner in the Red Wing zone. The Flames have it. Conroy goes behind the net. He's wrapped up by Lang. The puck in the left corner for Iginla. Iginla to the left circle. Iginla shot. Joseph save. Rebound. He scores! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! Martin Gilliland scores! The Flames win it! 1-0!
I think that was my greatest memory, was that cup run. The first round was Vancouver, and Martin Gellin and his overtime winners, and just the fun of that series was great. Canadian rivalry, and man, that was fun. Mm-hmm. I would come home from work, and I would go to bed. I'd take a nap for 2 hours, and then be ready to go for when game time started at 9, because they were both West Coast teams. So
yeah.
And then the reason I'd go to bed is because I'd be so amped up after the games, have a few beers in me or whatever, and I'd be amped up. I couldn't go to bed. I'd sit up in the night, listen to the post-game show on the computer, and I'd just be off the charts, just, so excited. But that run, and then they went on to beat Detroit. I thought when we started that series against Detroit, I say we like I was playing, but when the Flames started that series against Detroit, I thought, oh boy, here's where it ends, because Detroit was a hell of a hockey team, and Calgary, I believe game 1 they lost, and then came back and won game 2 and ended up winning that series, I believe, in 6, and then rolled on to San Jose, where at that point everybody becomes a believer.
Yep. I remember watching that.
I think that's the round
that's
where
the whole country
care what seed you are. You just became a believer.
Yeah.
Oh, that was some exciting hockey, and guys that I think back to that team and that run and some of the players, and man,
Robin Regeer and Eggy and
Sabrikin.
Kaprizov.
How are we? It was just the stars aligned, and things just fell into place for that team. And Mike Commodore, and even though I don't like him on Twitter now, but I just, man, oh man, and it was just a great time in Calgary and a lot of fun, and it was something that I hope in my life I get to watch the Red Mile explode again like it did that year.
Maybe. Yeah, I know.
That's my greatest memory.
My favorite Flames memory. It was watching Iginla's return to Calgary when he was playing with the Boston Bruins.
That's weak, Blake.
I like it. No, I like it. I like those stories. And then, well, obviously Iginla's 600 goal.
Yeah.
Oh no, was it?
No,
it's 500. 500 goal. 500 goal. But I liked the return. His first game back. It's pretty cool.
I nailed you with the in-person memory, and I'll give you my in-person memory. Probably not funny for the player, but kind of it was ironic, I guess. But I'm gonna jump ahead and talk about my all-time greatest Flame player as I give this story, because you kind of need to preface it with that. But Theoren Fleury was always my all-time favorite Flame, and he was just because he was small and gritty, and I just loved his heart. He played with a ton of heart.
Yeah.
In 1996, no, 94. My girlfriend at the time purchased tickets for us about 6 or 7 rows up the old Winnipeg Arena, right behind the bench. So I went to my first Flames game in person.
Yeah.
And the old Winnipeg Arena was their final year there.
Yeah.
And it was like the third or fourth to last game ever at the old Winnipeg Arena. And I don't know if you've been to the old Winnipeg Arena, but it was a great barn. It was so loud. It was a lot like the new one is. But the one end of it had a huge banner of the Queen. And then it was freaking straight up. Like, the one end of the building was at a slope I've never seen another professional sports arena at in my life. It was freaking steep. But we had great seats right behind the bench, and it was a somewhat meaningless game. Flames jump out to an early lead. Rick Tabaracci is in net for the Flames. Nikolai Khabibulin is in net for the Jets. Keith Tkachuk plays for the Jets. Shane Doan plays for the Jets. The Flames had the old
Teemu Selanne?
Teemu had been moved on to Anaheim at that point.
Okay.
Calgary had Michael Nylander, Williams' dad. Mm-hmm. Calgary had, German Titov, Steve Chason. I was pissed because Trevor Kidd I wanted to see Trevor Kidd.
Yeah.
And they friggin' didn't play Trevor Kidd. They played Rick Tabaracci, and I was pissed. Even though I went on to later meet Rick Tabaracci. He's a great guy and a good, funny guy. It was also interesting because the coach of our local junior team here in North Dakota, Marty Murray, Canadian junior hockey hero, he had got called up that day, and I was going to school with his girlfriend at the time, and now they live in the same hometown that I am from. But he had gotten called up that day, so I visited with him in the hotel that day, and I also got to visit with some of the other players. But it was a game that was a somewhat meaningless game. But in the middle of the second period, one of the Flames, and I don't remember who, fired a slap shot to clear the zone on a penalty kill, hit Theoren Fleury right in the face in the bench, and dropped him like a rock. Cut him, and that's why he wears a half shield now. Mm-hmm. Was because of getting hit in the bench. And he went out of the game. They were up 3-1 at the time. Keith Tkachuk went on to score a hat trick to beat the Flames in the final minute, and that was history.
Yeah.
4-3 loss to the Flames, and I'm out the door with a memory of my favorite player getting drilled in the head on the bench. So, interesting. Frustrating time. I asked you that question, and we'll go into that with Calgary. My most frustrating time as a Flame, there was just so many years there in the mid-'90s where, my most frustrating time was when we lost to San Jose in 92, I think, in the playoffs, up 3-0. And freaking lose it. First round. Unreal. I was so pissed.
We almost did that in 2011.
So pissed that night. Last year as a Flames fan really pissed me off. And the reason is last year was the first year I thought, all right, this team could go to the playoffs and is growing in the right direction. They took a big step back last year. And a lot of teams do that. They'll make a playoffs and then they take a step back. And Calgary did that last year, and it really frustrated me. So going into this year's season, I really did not know what to expect. I really didn't. Mm-hmm. And this year's been a huge pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that trade for Lindholm really set the tone for Calgary, I think. And
we talked about that in our summer shows.
They're one of the top lines in the league. How
Hannafin has added another aspect.
Yeah.
I know Derek Ryan gets some bad press, but I really like Derek Ryan too.
Whoever expected David Riddick to play like this too.
Yeah.
Couple weak goals against Vancouver, but
I think right now, and every team goes through these, and I guess I'll move into my current evaluation of my team. And I look at this Flames team, and as the season got going, I thought they were okay, and then they got going and they started rolling, and I thought, wow, this team's a contender. This team's good. This team's really good. Every aspect was just rolling except for James Neal and Mike Smith, and I thought. The Smith thing scared me way more than James Neal because I think every team probably has a James Neal. Mm-hmm. It's just that this one's more magnified just because he signed this year. But I look at, David Riddick and how he's stepped up and how he's played. And now the last couple of games, I haven't been very impressed with his play. No. And I think right now is the time where the Flames are going to go through their tough time right now. Every team, even the best teams, Tampa Bay has recently went through it too.
I'd rather go through it now than in the first round of the playoffs.
Exactly. So I think it's good that they're going to face some adversity now. I think it's going to be a tough stretch for them. They got Tampa tomorrow night. They're coming off a game in Vancouver that they manhandled the Canucks, but only escaped with a point and lost in the shootout. I wasn't really impressed with the Flames that game. Even though they outshot... No, I wasn't. There's some things I didn't like about their play. The first line was non-existent.
What?
Yeah.
Johnny Gaudreau had 3 goals in the third period. Markstrom robbed him.
Yeah, but you got to start burying those. If you look at Gaudreau, has had a lot.
Give credit to Markstrom.
Oh, absolutely. I just did. But Gaudreau has had a ton of breakaways this year and doesn't score a lot of them. And I'm not knocking him, but I'm just saying there's a lot of this team that can even be better. Tkachuk hasn't been scoring lately. This team is right now, I think, at their biggest struggle point, and it's okay. They're going to show us what they're made of right now and how they handle this adversity. David Riddick's going to show us what he's made out of, too. And it's sure good to do it right now. I hope this team doesn't make a lot of big moves before deadline. I like this roster.
They're not going to make any moves.
I like this roster.
Maybe a depth defenseman.
I like this roster.
Maybe a depth defenseman. That's the only move I think they'll make.
Favorite current player? I like Sean Monahan.
For me,
he's golden.
For me, it's Tkachuk.
I will like Tkachuk. I think Tkachuk is a great hockey player. I think he takes nights off.
You guys are going to struggle to pay him.
Every team's going to struggle this year. There's so many good RFAs out there.
I know. It's crazy.
There's going to be 10 teams struggling.
I think this is going to be the summer of the offer sheet.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of teams struggling. I love this Flames team this year. I do. I think they're good.
Oh, my favorite all-time Flame, Mika Kiprusoff.
And he's right there. He's right after Theoren Fleury for me.
You know, my first game in Calgary, it was Calgary versus Minnesota, and it was like 2005. Maybe might have even been 2004. And Todd Marchand.
Yeah.
So, I still remember this is my day. First day. It was my first ever game. Todd Marchand absolutely hammered this guy open ice. I'm sitting like second level, like throw 3 at the red line. Todd Marchand steps up and hammers this guy. I looked at my dad. I said, "Oh boy, that's a huge hit." And then, just Kiprusoff stood on his head. Kiprusoff got a shutout that night, and I got a Kiprusoff T-shirt. No, I was a big Kiprusoff fan.
You had a Flame shirt on today. I see a red shirt.
No, I don't. It's a Minot State shirt.
Okay.
I would never wear that.
Let's move on to my. Do we have a lot to talk about on Saturday night's matchup? I think we've covered it.
Well, I liked the Canucks play in the third period. I feel like they got absolutely dummied in the second period, outshot 20-5. They get a big goal from Besser at the end of the second period, which really put some life into the building, put some life into the team, and I thought Markstrom stood on his head all game long, and
who's a warrior? Travis Hamonic.
Did you see the shot block in overtime?
He's so hurt.
He took Besser's shot off the arm. I'm like, wow.
And he blocked one with his hand then 2 nights before. Like, the guy's an animal. Every team wants a Travis Hamonic.
Yeah, but
you can't say anything bad about him.
He's going to break a bone one of these days.
So you want him to let him?
No, obviously not. But
you gotta be like, wow, what a horse out there.
I mean, I think as a goalie, it's great that your defenseman is willing to block shots for you. But as a goalie, your job is to stop the puck, not the D-man to block it.
I know, but man, what does that tell you about his heart? Oh, no one has a bigger heart than Travis Hamonic. Let's talk. I have one final question, and then we're going to move on to our favorite day of the NHL season. If you were not a Canucks fan, who would you be? Who would your favorite team be?
I'd probably be a Calgary Flames fan.
That is sad to say.
I don't know, but I went to so many Flames games as a kid that I probably Flames or Montreal. It'd still be a Canadian team.
If I was not a Calgary Flames fan, I would have always said the Buffalo Sabres. But now that Winnipeg has a team back, I would have to say that if the Flames up and move, which they've talked about, I will be a Winnipeg Jets fan.
So you wouldn't follow Calgary if they moved?
Depends on where they moved.
Quebec City.
Yes, I'll follow them.
Okay.
Houston, Texas? Hell no.
So you're just going to get up and not support your boys?
Yeah.
You unloyal.
So true. No, I'm not unloyal. I'm loyal to the team. I'm not loyal to those players. Those players will up and leave on a heartbeat if they got more money. Mm-hmm. I support the Calgary Flames. Mm-hmm. If they move, they're not the Calgary Flames anymore.
Yep. You have to burn all your jerseys.
No, I don't. I wouldn't act like an immature fool, but it'd be bad. Favorite day of the NHL season? I rated mine 1 through 5.
So did I.
Okay, let's go. Number 5. What's your 5th favorite day of the season?
Trade deadline.
That's your 5th favorite day?
Yep.
You're freaking crazy.
It's 5th favorite day.
Okay, mine's the draft.
No way.
Yep. What's your 4th?
Hockey Day in Canada.
That's mine too. I love that day.
Yeah, me too. And it was just great. There was in the Swift Current, Saskatchewan, and
next time it's close. Next time it's in Manitoba or Saskatchewan that's close to us,
sure,
we're going.
Sure.
We'll do a live. We'll go. We'll do it.
Yeah, we could do that.
I love Hockey Day in Canada. It's a special day.
And I think Ron McLean does such a terrific job at that.
The whole group does.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yep.
What's your 3rd?
July 1st.
Really? I don't even have that on mine.
I think
free agent signing.
It's a great day. You know, you get up, Canada Day, you get out, watch the parade on July 1st, and then flip on TSN, watch James Duthie and the boys go to work. I don't think it's a bigger deal. The reason why
it's not an unknown day in the States.
Exactly, and that's why it's.
And I like
that's
it.
Why it's a bigger deal. For me.
Like it though, but
like they don't have a free agent frenzy in the States.
Well, they do on hockey.
NHL the NHL Network, but
they used to not. It was never a big deal, and now it's become a bigger deal.
Yeah.
What's your 3rd favorite? Oh, we just did that. I didn't give you my 3rd though.
What is your 3rd?
My 3rd favorite's the first night of the regular season. I love the first night of the regular season. Everybody's a winner. It's fun. It's fun. It's always good. Montreal, Toronto, followed by Calgary, Vancouver, or Calgary, Edmonton, and it's always a good night.
2nd, I got draft day.
I got the first night of the playoffs.
That's number 2. That's number 1 for me.
The first night of the playoffs is number 2 for me.
I love the draft, especially the first round.
You know what my favorite day of the year is?
Especially when you got a top 5 pick. You're like, oh, who we taking, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
my team sucked in drafts so bad that I just don't even pay attention. My favorite day of the year is coming in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. First day of
the
playoffs.
night before trade deadline, I can't sleep.
Oh, you like trade deadline, the number 1?
Number 1. And I wake up at 7 in the morning.
Okay, but the thing is...
And I grab my donut and I grab my computer and I sit down and I watch. And I love it.
But the trade deadline... The last 3 years it's
been bad.
So underwhelming. It's just like, they overhype this so much.
But nothing happens. One of these days.
There's been 70 deals on deadline day in 2014, and there's like 10.
It is fun and an exciting day.
Number 1 is first day of the regular season, and then first day of the playoffs. That's number 1.
I thought you said first night of the playoffs was your number 1.
Yeah, and opening night too. I love opening night too.
Okay, let's go around the league. Let's talk about a bunch of different little things.
Sure.
Austin Matthews has re-signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like his contract or dislike it?
I like it. I like the 5 years.
You like it for the Leafs or do you like it for Austin Matthews?
I think Austin Matthews got a fair deal. I think the reports was if it was an 8-year deal, the AAV would have been upwards of $12.5 million, and I just don't think that extra mil made sense for the Leafs. he's going to have a bitch of a time to sign Mitch Marner. I mean, Austin Matthews, I think, was the easiest contract.
And I don't think Marner's is going to be as compliant as Matthews was.
I think Marner's going to get. I think he's going to get 10.
They can't afford 10.
They can afford 10.
Well, what are they?
Jake Gardner's off the books.
No, I know, but what are they going to do for the rest of their players?
Well, they'll have to have They'll have to have rookies come in on entry level deals.
That's scary.
Yep, you're going to have your bottom six with a couple rookies.
Panarin switches his agents to Bobrovsky's agent.
Yeah, no, I think it's.
What does this mean?
I think that they're going to Florida. I think it's a
You
package
think both
deal.
of them are?
Yep, I think Panarin and Bobrovsky are a package deal, and I think Florida, by trading Bukestad, $6.5 million contract, opened the door for that. And
I don't disagree.
I think they're going to go to Florida.
I don't disagree. Red Hot Flyers 9-0-1 in their last 10. Is this team a playoff team?
Oh man, if Carter Hart keeps this up, I think I have to say yes. But who's out?
I don't know. You look at the standings, and this is doable.
Does Pittsburgh not make the playoffs?
Well, I don't know. They're the team not playing good right now.
I think, if Philly keeps this up, I think they take their spot.
The problem is, though, Philly still is 6 points back, though. That's a lot of ground. It's a lot of ground.
That's a 3-game swing. That's not as much.
But there's 3-point games now. That's hard. They've got to jump Buffalo and Carolina. That's hard. That's hard. But they could. I mean, they're doing it. Pittsburgh's the team struggling the most, but they've got just what the doctor ordered. Next up for the Penguins, the Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton due for a win.
Oh gosh. So I don't know. I don't know. They might be a little too late, but boy, yeah. I'll tell you, it's been fun to watch them here. Mm-hmm. They're a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
Let's keep cruising. Avalanche lose 6 straight. Is this team ever going to get it together and get
back?
No,
they're not making the playoffs. I told you 2 weeks ago they're not making the playoffs.
I don't think so either. I think Chicago looks way better than them. I don't know.
Yeah. Who is this Delila guy?
That's a great signing today.
Yeah, and look what the Oilers just signed Koskinen to.
That's what I'm saying.
Very similar.
Similar? You see the price tag?
I know. I'm talking their play is similar.
I know. They got a freaking steal. Chicago got a steal.
$1 million for 3 years.
No, it's like $750 the first 2 years and $1 million the third year. It's freaking.
It's 3 years, $3 million.
Oh, is it? And then it's but it starts off like $750, and freaking bargain.
Yeah,
freaking bargain.
Yeah.
Randy Carlyle out in Anaheim. It's total dumpster fire in Anaheim.
5 points back though. Isn't that nuts?
That's stupid.
I know. They've lost 19 of the last 21 games.
So now their general manager, Murray, steps in. He's definitely not the answer. But is Dallas Eakins going to get a shot at this team or not?
He's their coach in San Diego.
I know. Is Dallas Eakins the man here?
I think he was thrown into a terrible situation in Edmonton.
Oh, everybody's in a terrible situation in Edmonton.
Yeah. And
I'm not judging anybody.
I think he's done a great job with the young decor in San Diego. I think next year he does get a shot at the Ducks. I think it'd be a similar transition to what Travis Green did with Utica to Vancouver. It's an easier transition if you just move up.
I think so too. I think they're just going to wait till the end of the season because they know there's nothing to gain now.
No.
He might as well stay in San Diego and do the job down there.
Yep.
Kings look to move Phaneuf and Kovalchuk.
No, it's not happening.
Is any takers going to do this? Is Phaneuf seen his end? Is this an all-time low for Phaneuf?
This is.
God, they got run out of Calgary. He got freaking run out of Toronto. He got run out of Ottawa. This guy's just
He didn't get run out of Ottawa. He was good in Ottawa.
Well, it's because Toronto's still paying him.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, they're not.
No.
Not anymore, they're not. Didn't they? Well, maybe they did. Yeah, they did. They took part of that contract, I think. Maybe, No, they didn't.
No, they
didn't.
Kessel,
no, they didn't.
They're eating Kessel's contract.
Yeah. No, they didn't have to eat that contract.
Ottawa did, though.
Ottawa did.
Yeah.
He was not that good in Ottawa either, by the way.
He was a solid D-man in that run to the third round.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Kovalchuk, is anybody taking him?
No.
Somebody will take him, I can't believe it.
Who?
I don't know.
You tell me who. Right now. Nobody's taking him.
Man, I don't know. I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him for free.
No.
No. We're 2 weeks from deadline. I'm excited. How about you, Blake?
Oh, no, for sure. You know,
It's gonna start rolling.
I just hope my team just stays pat. Jim Benning's been known for trading picks. I hope he just does nothing.
All right, let's get out of here. Time for 3 questions.
Sure.
Cool Hockey is the #1 place to get NHL jerseys. Every fan wants a fully customized NHL jersey made to NHL specs. Check out coolhockey.com now and use promo code INSIDE20 for 20% off your next jersey purchase. It's time for 3 questions. It is time for my favorite section of the show, and it's Blake's turn to ask me 3 questions this week. I did it last week. I'll do it again next week. But Blake, your turn. Fire away. 3 questions at me.
What is more impressive, the play of Carter Hart or the play of Jordan Binnington, and why?
Carter Hart. You want to know why? And there's only one difference. They're both young, but there's only one difference.
Yep.
Carter Hart was pegged to be this young star. Mm-hmm. And that adds pressure.
Yeah.
And he's handled it very, very well.
Yep. Number 2. We just kind of talked about this, but what's your thoughts on a GM taking over as a head coach?
Dumb.
And what does that do for the players? Like, what message does that give to the players?
There isn't one player.
Like, I've never heard of this before.
Oh, they do. It's happened numerous times. It's freaking stupid. And I don't know. What's the point of firing Carlisle now, even? Like, if you don't have another coach ready, like, just freaking ride it out. Like,
yeah.
You're going to pay him anyways, so you might as well just... It's not his fault. He's not out there taking the face-offs. Like...
Well, yeah, and they've been banged up, too.
This team just
just not
give
very,
a shit anymore.
Not very good.
And now the general manager's going to come in and be coach, and there's not one guy in that locker room that's like, God, I just can't wait to go to the rink today. Yeah. It sucks. Losing sucks, man. Losing sucks. Those guys don't want to go to the rink right now. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It sucks. So it's just the way it is. It's going to be tough couple months in Anaheim.
If you could pick one player under the age of 21 to build your team around, who would it be?
Oof.
I got you stumped on this one, I think.
Under 21.
Mm-hmm.
Should have given me a heads up so I could have ran some.
Oh.
So I could
You never do that to me, though.
I know. I don't know, man.
You don't know?
There's a lot of good ones. Obviously, McDavid's over 21.
Mm-hmm.
How old's Besser? He's over 21.
22, yeah.
Are you trying to bait me into saying Pettersson? That's what this is. This is a freaking bait Brad into saying Pettersson.
No.
Yes, it is.
That's my pick, but I don't know.
Oh, no shit.
I want to see yours. I want to hear yours.
I don't know. Do you want me to cop out and say Carter Hart, or what do you want me to say?
I don't know. I'm asking you the question.
I'm trying to think of players under 21. Kyle Connor. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of all the guys under 21 that you could build a team around. Oh, Rasmus Dahlin.
Really? You're going to take a defenseman.
Because defensemen run the game.
Okay.
There, I answered your question.
Stumped you.
You did good.
All right.
Let's go on to listener question. So this won't stump either one of us, because I think we'll both have an opinion on this.
Sure.
Thanks again for the questions. We appreciate when people tweet us, Facebook us, email us. I don't care. Get a hold of us, man. We want your questions. This one I got through Facebook from a listener in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Derek Kraluk. thanks for the question. This one is a Winnipeg Jets question.
I answered this question too.
And it's a good one. Who should the Winnipeg Jets focus on signing? Patrick Laine, these guys are all RFAs. Jacob Trouba or Kyle Connor?
Yeah.
Who should they focus on? Go, Blake.
I think it's Kyle Connor. That's an easy decision for me.
Okay, but how much do you give Kyle? I think you can get Kyle Connor cheaper.
$7 million.
I see. I got him pegged at 6. I think you can get him for 6.
I think the lowest you can get, the max you can get him is 7.
I said Laine first, and here's why I said Laine first.
And
Laine's been bad lately. He's been bad. But here's why I say Laine. A sniper like him is hard to come by.
Yeah.
But I think right now you can get him in a bridge deal.
For
It's
what?
going to be a bridge deal.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
I just say 7.2 in a bridge deal.
I'm going 6.5 in a bridge deal, maybe 6.
And I think I got Laine at 7.2 in a bridge, Connor at 6. I know defense is the biggest thing in the world, but I don't think Trouba's signing there. I don't. He wanted out 2 years ago and signed a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal. I love to see Trouba stay because that would help Winnipeg more than probably Laine. I can't believe I just said that. But I do believe that. I don't think you're going to be able to get all 3 of these. I think Kevin Cheveldayoff has done a masterful job in Winnipeg, being patient.
Yep.
I just don't know how you're going to get all these guys under the cap with guys like Hellebuck and Scheifele and Wheeler.
Could trade Big Buff.
I'd love to see him trade Big Buff. That'd be a good one. I'd trade Buff and keep Trouba.
Yep.
Way better defenseman.
Yep.
Way better.
Agreed.
No, Cheveldayoff. If anybody's going to figure out a way to do it, Cheveldayoff is the guy.
Yeah, no, he's a great GM.
Great GM.
Yep.
Quick question in Winnipeg. If Winnipeg adds Matt Duchene at the deadline, do they win the cup?
They're probably the favorite, I think. They'd have to part with.
I'm just throwing this out there as a sub question to this.
Trying to think what they would have to give up. Obviously, a first round pick.
Roslovic.
Okay, I found this on the web for what day would happen.
Blake, what do you got going on your phone?
I don't know why my phone just went off like that.
Your phone's talking to us. Maybe it has the answers. Ask
Siri.
it if. No. Oh my gosh, that's a good way to sum up the show.
But
huh?
no, but I just I'm interested to see where a guy like Duchene would go.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that I think Nashville and Winnipeg are like the kingpins in the West.
Yeah.
And I think if one does something, the other one will. If the other one, it's going to be once one does, the other one's going to be like, I got to keep. Yes.
Yeah.
I got to keep up with the Joneses here.
Yep. No. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where guys like Mark Stone go, where guys like Duchene go, Zuccarello's, Nyquist's, guys like that.
Again, Derek, thanks for the question. Blake says get Connor wrapped up. I say get Laine wrapped up and see where the chips fall. Hopefully they can keep. Well, it'd be great if they could keep all 3. They're all 3 good players. But again, thanks for the listener question. We will be off next week. I am gone.
I'm gone too. I'm going home.
We are both gone. I'm going to a game, Minnesota Wild Anaheim game on night of recording.
We could do.
We might be able to.
Tuesday night.
That's the game. I'm
Sunday.
at the game. We'll see what we can do. If we can't, we will be back the night before deadline. That's Sunday night with a show, and Monday night with a show. Deadline shows.
Sure.
So, thanks for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you as listeners. Drop us a line. Ask us questions. We want interaction from the fans. Enjoy this week's hockey action.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Dropping the gloves. And stirring the pot.
Here's Taylor Hall. Who else? Nathan McKinnon. He is tattooed by Bufflin.
Thanks for listening to the Debate Hockey Podcast. Check out InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com for all your hockey news. Follow us on all forms of social media, and make sure you download the Debate on your favorite podcatcher. Check us out on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeart, and YouTube. A special thanks goes out to our sponsor, CoolHockey.com. Make sure you check out their website, use promo code INSIDE20, and save 20% off your next jersey purchase. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this week's hockey action.
What a save! A fantastic save by Anderson. Couturier, the sweep setup. Gibson robs Tierney. Save of the game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.